Morning,
Morning.
everybody. Good
Or
morning.
afternoon, evening.
Hey, thanks for
Welcome.
being with us. Yes, and thanks. I'm gonna let Kate do a lot of this and Angela do a lot of this, but I want to welcome both of you, and I want to also mention that we have Lady Saul with a Dream up here. But these ladies have some beautiful ideas for us to heal from our dreams. We're going to talk about that today. And so, without any further ado, except hello to everybody in the chat, I'm going to let Kate. I'm going to let Kate do it. There you go.
Awesome. Thanks, Aley. It's good to be
Yep.
here with everybody, and thank you for coming by and checking it out. We've been exploring dreams and what you can do in those dreams and how you can participate with angels and guides and other fun friends that have adventures. So I wanted to bring into the exploration a concept of healing in that dream energy and what kind of healing is available and is possible. And I know that Angela has done a lot of work in the realm dealing with healing. So I'm going to ask Angela to step in and talk about what her experiences are, and then maybe we will come back to a challenge that I have. So, Angela, can you explain your experiences for us?
Okay, I've got quite a few examples. One was when I had broken my foot recently in my sleep. So the next night, I just rubbed a little comfrey oil on it, and I went to bed, and I called in my saints, my guardians, angels,
Yes.
and asked that my foot be healed overnight. When I woke up, it felt a lot better. It took about 3 days, and then it was to the point where I didn't notice it anymore. So you
Wow.
can get real physical healing in your dreams. You just have to ask for it,
Yes.
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. I can't imagine anything easier. I wish I knew it, 40 years ago.
I will say that when I went in to have an operation, there was a video, an audio that I listened to, which isn't a dream really, but it said that you're going to wake up, you're going to heal very quickly, and things are going to be okay. You're going to feel great, and I did.
Ah,
So I think it's the power of thought and the power of intention. So that's
Yes,
beautiful.
it is. You can do that with an audio, like you said, or you can just say it in your head. Just put
Yep.
it as a plan for your dream.
absolutely.
That's what you're going to do in your dreams. You're going to heal, and everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it really works. It works a lot more than I would have believed when I first started
That's
this mess.
beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful.
There's something so soothing to know that there is assistance or support or love in a place that's so accessible. I mean, it's right next to your pillow. How cool is that, right? I mean, it's right there.
Exactly.
It is absolutely available. Guides and angels and support teams and healers on the other side, healers that want you to thrive and be okay, be happy, to be your brightest shine, to be your brightest light that you can be. And there are things being human that make that hard. It can be really hard to shine when something doesn't feel right, when something feels out of balance or crooked or stuck, or there's so many different ways for me to put that. But when you're not at your best, feeling your best physically, emotionally, mentally, you're not at your best, but they are willing to help you get there. So
Hmm.
I had this desire to heal a part of me that I don't know what it is. I don't know why my brain is tangled around nutrition, food, weight, all of those complicated triggers, pieces that individually I can say, oh, yeah, donut's cool, let's have a few. Or, no, I shouldn't open that bag of chips because something might happen, they might disappear.
Right.
So,
Well,
my,
why not, when you go to bed at night, say, I want the answer to this problem?
wait, I actually went to bed saying, I don't want to know what the reason is. I want the
Yeah.
wiring. I want the wiring within the mechanism to be corrected. I want the wiring to be corrected, to untangle whatever is tangled. And I don't need the specifics because at that point I just like
what I'm talking about is asking them, is there anything you can do additionally to fix it?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this every day for a month.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month, I'll come back on and let you know whether or not the ease of picking up the apple instead of the donut, picking up the piece of salmon instead of the raviolis covered in cheese sauce, whether or not that was an easy process, and if there was any increase in vitality and relaxation around the tanglement that I have over weight and nutrition. So we'll see what happens. And I invite anyone that wants to join me on the challenge too.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I'll be on it. I'll be on it because I've gained like 25 pounds in the last 4 or 5 months. I don't feel good, but I do know that I sabotage myself due to my emotions. That's what happens to me.
Right. Yeah. And to untangle that would be really nice to have it healed. Just have it soft.
It would be. It would be.
Because I honestly believe that we have so much available to us, and we're only asking for little tiny bits and pieces. So let's go big.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing I think is worth mentioning is you don't want to go on a diet. You just want to eat right and take care of yourself. And the word diet needs to be stricken from our brain because it really puts us in this box.
It's a sense of lack. Diet is a sense of lack. It's like forcing yourself into a spirit of lack.
Right.
What you really want is a good eating habit.
Absolutely.
A lifestyle. One that can be completely natural with ease and gentleness and a sense of, that's cool. I just totally believe that's a reality. So I'm glad that you guys are open for the experiment.
Yeah.
And we'll give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question there, Aley?
No, it was Heather from Indigo Chrysalis Tarot said she can totally relate. She feels out of balance. And I do want to say this. Yesterday was a totally unbalanced day for everybody. And I'm hearing the full moon is going to be that way too, astrologically speaking. And that's on Thursday. So give yourself a break. Don't get yourself all balled up with something. Just know that this too shall pass. Yeah.
It's just temporary.
Just another day.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Yep. Yeah. So she says self-sabotage is the worst. It's self-compassion. Yeah, we have to love ourselves. So even go to bed telling yourself, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to love myself all night. There you go.
There you go. Up with some friends and celebrate.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah. We could have a big fruit salad.
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Because I think part of it is just the nervousness and the guilt and the feeling like, you should have mastered it by now, or. But I think that things are tangled up in there. They're tangled up for whatever reason. But now is the time for them to become untangled and healed, and in a way that's gentle and easy. And not judgmental anymore, because we're all doing the best that we can. So
we are.
If that could be a piece that adds to our vitality, our longevity, our sense of energy, then bring it on.
Wow.
It is just as easy as asking.
So Deb H says her energy has been unbalanced for about a week. I think you're right along in there with us. I love this running. We shall be nobler for having suffered. My dad used to say, he also told me not to poke snakes or to leave mean people alone. They say that the biggest lessons we have are from the things we've suffered from, but who needs that? But anyway, it's true. But if you can do any kind of healing through a very gentle way in your dreams, wow. And obviously, if Angela can can heal her broken foot
Yes.
that she broke in her dreams.
Yes. Which is
That's
so
like
cool,
you took
right?
that too literally. Yeah, you took that too literally, Angela.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
Awesome.
That's amazing. So, what else? You were going to tell us about some other dreams, were you, Angela?
Oh
Or
yeah.
yeah.
One that came up recently was I've had a dream two times now of somebody chasing me and trying to inject me with something.
Oh.
And of course, I did my usual. I turned around and said, "You have no power here. Get away from me. Leave me alone." But then the next night, the dream came back. I did the same thing. However, then I went and looked at my calendar to see if there was something disturbing in what was going on because I keep a detailed calendar and then a journal.
Mhm.
And I realized I have my blood test coming up on September 1st. So where's that dream coming from? From my calendar.
Yep.
I always worry that the phlebotomist is going to be going, "Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it. I can't," and my veins will be rolling. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the
understand.
worst. That's the worst.
It is. Yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah.
that's an easy way to cut them off too, is when you realize what's bringing the dream about, that usually ends it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You don't have it
Yep.
again after that.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
good. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it just also shows us that sometimes a dream can be just not a fear, but a reminder. We have things
Mm-hmm.
coming up for ourselves. It isn't always that we have to take that literally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really important because people say, "I had the weirdest dream. I had the weirdest dream," and they do come through very weird.
Yeah.
It's like a puzzle. Yeah,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
definitely like a
We,
puzzle. Yeah.
it really is this communication, this conversation that we're having with spirit. So,
Hmm.
whether that's with, your sense of the universe, your sense of guides and angels and loved ones and, folks that are on the other side, it is a continuation of that conversation. So they
It
do want
is.
to participate with you and make sure that you are reminded or that you are doing well or that there's a big lesson coming up, and get lots of rest because it's going to be exhausting. No, I'm kidding. Um, those days can come. And I honestly think that because we're all on the planet at this time, we are expected to jump out of the box, come out of the
Yeah.
box, think outside
Yeah.
the box, because we all need that energy of creativity, that energy of gratitude and connectedness, that we connect to
Hmm.
each other and have that amplified and magnified so that
Uh-huh.
our resources and our intentions become the reality for the planet. Dream really big. Dream.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite sayings is, wouldn't it be great if everybody rolled out of bed in the morning happy?
Oh, that
It
would be gorgeous.
would be
I
so
know.
wonderful, right? We would just
Mm-hmm.
be, we would be okay. We would be looking to help each other. We would realize that
Yeah.
the roof over the head and the breakfast on the table can be shared or can be nurtured or, come on in. And I know that things are complicated right now and they need to be complicated, but this
Yeah.
is our time to get ready. This is our
It is.
time to practice those types of spiritual gifts that we all have. Everyone can do these things. I'm not
Absolutely.
special. What I've experienced.
You
Everyone.
are special, but I
Yeah,
understand what you're trying to say. You're not unique in this idea. Yes, absolutely.
it's so sweet. Yeah, it is a really important time to feel good about
Hmm.
things and to focus on
Hmm.
what is good. Focus your energy,
Yeah.
your thoughts, your music, your movies, how you spend your time on something
Yes.
that brings you joy, brings you happiness, makes you go, oh, I wonder what would if, those kinds of conversations with each other and within yourself. And
Yeah.
remember that the self-talk, whatever is coming out, your brain is taking in as real for you.
Yes.
That's
So
true.
be mindful or discerning about what kinds of things are happening during difficult times, what kinds of things are being
Mhm.
said during difficult, exciting, oh my gosh, this has never happened before times. Take really good
Mm-hmm.
care of you
Yeah.
and from the inside out. So yeah, I know that I may have shared this before too, but I've had several pre-surgery type experiences where documentation medically and through the insurance company, everything else has been ready for, a type of surgery. And then I've showed up with a healing that, absolutely caused the surgery to stop.
Wow.
And
Wow.
insurance companies calling the next day and saying, can we follow you? Because this has never happened with breast cancer surgery before. And we want to be able to figure out a code for this. We don't even know how to code this. So,
That's cool.
the what used to feel like might have been impossible is absolutely possible. Believe in the potential and in the availability of manifestation in things that maybe are way outside the box. Let's all wake up happy.
My husband won't let the phone ring at the office. He has to answer it if the guy that usually answers it isn't there. He answers it at lunch. He will not answer it. And when he does, he says, thank you for calling the company. This is Dr. Martin. How can I make this a beautiful day for you?
Oh,
and people stop.
Wow.
They don't know what to say. They're like, wow. And that the doctor answered the phone. That's the second part of it. But whenever he says that, it brings the people up.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
I love that.
So if we can do
I love that too. How easy it is for us to share goodness, right? In a simple phrase. How beautiful.
Definitely. Yeah, that's true. So we do have a question from Lady Soul. I don't want to ignore that. But I don't also want to cut you off if you've got more that you are wanting to say about the healing. So Lady Soul, please know we'll get to your dream.
Absolutely.
So whatever you
Okay, there is one other thing I wanted to say about this is that if you think that you can't do this, I taught my grandchildren how to change their dreams, heal in their dreams, how to make to dream that they're going to wake up happy, and they do.
Awesome. Oh, that makes my
So
heart.
if a kid can learn it and do it, so can you.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's going to change their lives, Angela.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it probably already has, but if they continue to do this, they're going to just
they wake up happy. They don't have nightmares anymore.
Wow. That's wonderful.
I mean, you can't beat that.
No, you can't. No, not at all. You can go to school and try to learn compassion and kindness and so forth, but doing it yourself and making that sort of dream come true is wonderful.
That's great.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And it's such an early age, so it's something that they will have with them for, moving forward.
It's a tool.
For the rest of their lives. I mean, they started around 6 or 7 doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, because that's the age. Well, that too is the age of reason, around 7, and so you can reason with them and say, "Why don't you?" And as a matter of fact, Bernie Siegel did this with kids, exceptional cancer patient kids, and it was in the 80s, around the time of Pac-Man. And he said, "I want you to envision Pac-Man eating all the bad cells."
Love that.
And they tested it, and they had a drop in the white cell count, and the red cell count went up. So yes, absolutely. If they can do it, we can do it. Yes. Wow.
Yep.
That's fabulous. That's great. Kate, anything else?
I just really am grateful that we have the opportunity to even have the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because
oh, absolutely.
It is so much fun, and there is so much to learn and so much to celebrate and go out and explore with, and bringing your guides and angels with you for that protection, so that you're not wandering off into areas where you shouldn't. I remember the dream I had where I was playing hide and go seek in the universe, and I was jumping from planet to planet and flying through the universe. Wow. It was really wonderful. I'm not even sure who I was playing with. If there were other players in the game or not. I don't remember that. I could have been playing that with myself. But I remember trying to leap, and this loud bang, this very loud bang, where, later I realized that there are certain areas that you're not supposed to go to. So it was an interesting experience to go, slam, boom, bam. You've reached the edge. You can't go through that
Can't
door.
go
You
through it.
can't pass through that
Right.
plane. And the definition and defining of the space of the universe for me, it was always just, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And then I found the wall. So
There you go. Well, it looks like the FBI also found the wall yesterday.
but yeah, it's a practice. Sometimes you'll remember, sometimes you won't. Keep at it.
Yeah.
On the days where you don't remember, that's not a sign that something didn't happen.
Right.
It's
Right.
absolutely possible that
It's
happened.
building itself.
You
Yeah.
needed the rest and you needed the quiet. And in the
Uh-huh.
rest and quiet, you might not remember your dreams as vividly as
Correct.
when you're powered up and, ready to rock and roll. So, understanding that each journey has its running and stopping and running and stopping and an ebb and flow of energy and resources and experiences in learning the spiritual gifts. You may have a period of time where you wake up exhausted every morning, and
Right.
other periods of time where you wake up, you don't remember what was going on. Don't give up on the daily practice of intentionally asking for that specific thing. And the reason that I say specific and then use a general example is because I don't know what the tangled up thing is in
Yeah.
me.
Right.
And I'm too old to keep trying to figure it out. So maybe, I trust and I believe. And in those three things, I trust, I believe, I set the intention every night. And I'm excited to find out how quickly that can change and turn around for me. So I'm ready for dream questions.
All right, we'll do one. It just reminded me what you told me. I remember being at my therapist for many years ago, and I was, my life was up and down, up and down, up and down, and we had spent a lot of time working on my issues. And finally, she said, "I want to ask you a question." I said, "I want you to close your eyes and see a road in front of you." And she said, and there's a hill, and it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. And she said, "What do you think about that?" And I said, "All I say is that life is a series of ups and downs, and that's never going to change. Just because I have some therapy for what happens to me, I still am going to go through the ebbs and the flows and the ups and the downs." And she said, "Well, then you're okay, because that's the truth. You can't walk away from that." So all those little connected things in there, it's like trying to untangle one of those necklaces that has a knot in it, and you didn't even do anything to it.
Yeah.
But you finally can do it. You take something and
Something just goes bing.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. All right. Marlene says, "I always seem to be looking for someone or something. It's annoying." In your dreams, I'm guessing. Yeah, I understand that. I will say that pretty much is for all of us, that, we're looking for, what is it that we don't sometimes even know what we're looking for. And so that's why.
Well, in my dreams, what I would do is say, "Okay, guides, I'm going to sleep. We're going to have this dream again. Tell me what it is. Show me what it is."
Yeah.
Right.
Give me a clearer message so I can get this off my mind. Yeah, absolutely.
Even if even if the request is, can you make this a little more gentle so that I don't have to wake up anxious? Make it on the sunny side rather than on the side. So that they can change their vocabulary and their understanding of how we need to accept it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Lady Soul has an interesting dream. She was walking in the dark, and her car was parked in front of a scary looking house. When I got inside the car, I looked back, and a scary looking little girl looked at me and said, "I'm a monster." And then later she says, "I grabbed her hair and threw her out of my car, and I drove off. I was terrified, but I still managed to throw her out of my car." So she was confused by that. As you know, Lady Soul is a psychic and a medium and a card reader, and she's fabulous. And when we first get our gifts, I'm thinking that you were making the point that it was scary to you. And the little girl said she was a monster. I'm feeling like that's what you're hearing from others, that you are the monster. The little girl is you, because you said the other night that you were about 7 when you awakened to your gifts. And I don't know, ladies. I'll let you guys see what you think about it.
Do you want to jump in,
That's
Angela?
right.
What? Do you want to jump in, Angela? Or I sorry,
Yeah. That's okay. What I would say is, instead of throwing the girl out of the car if this dream comes back again, is say, no, you're not a monster. You're a little, lovely little girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. You could change it up that way.
Yeah.
Or you are part of me, because
Mhm.
most everything in there in a dream, she's driving her car, which I really like. No one else is driving your car for you, so you're in control. You're in control of the car.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the hit, what I get from that is that often as children, when we don't understand how to describe something, when the unknown is made clear to us, we give it the boogeyman or the monster title that says,
Right.
I am transforming into something I don't know. I don't know what that thing is. Okay, so
Especially, yeah.
you are the
Especially when you're a
monster,
kid. Yeah.
right? As a kid, you would say, I don't know the words for this, so I'm going to use the words that I do know. And
Mhm.
the words that I'm using are monster, okay? That I'm becoming something I don't know about yet. Okay.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
fact that it was something that you felt you could control and throw out the window only meant that you are able to discern what direction you want to go, what you want to have, what kind of energy you want to have in your car, what kind of energy you want to have in your life. So, in eliminating that part that said, nope, I'm going for it, I'm driving straight ahead, and I'm not going to let the fears that came from when I was a child interrupt
Mhm.
that journey.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so there's a healing that's taken place, even though it sounds a little bit like, whoa, you did what? It's an actual healing in that you remove what was no longer pleasing, you remove what was no longer serving you out
Right.
of your environment and move forward. So it's actually really quite cool.
I'm,
In my
you
opinion,
know,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
and the other thing I'm thinking of is when you're terrified is when your adrenaline gets really high. And she's saying, I threw her out of the car, but I was terrified because your adrenaline said, no, I'm getting rid of you. I'm getting rid of you. So maybe you are getting rid of the fear
Mm-hmm.
that you had as a child
Yep.
for that your gifts opened up for you, and you didn't know what they were, and nobody else could tell you either. So,
Right. And it's the universe
um,
and your guides giving you a way for you to remember it in such stark terms. So
right.
what they're saying is that yes, you have gone through this. You
Yeah.
have gone through this. Your road is moving forward. The energy you're feeling from is that healing energy, that anxious letting go and moving on. It's
Yeah.
really quite nice.
It is. So let's take this one step further, Lady Saul, if you're listening to. Um, you're a card reader. You pull cards all the time. So if this was my dream, I would pull cards and see if what they tell me as well about my dream. First of all, your impression of all this is important. What we say only is something that we're giving you our impression. But yours is the most important. But the cards will tell you the deeper. And so I pulled some cards for you just to show what I mean. Here you have a sudden realization, a light bulb moment. And the power of transformation and innovation is right in front of you. That's beautiful because you remembered the dream too.
Yes.
Here you're ready to communicate, and you do. You do readings. You're wanting to be heard. You're needing to express yourself. And you have come on and started expressing yourself.
Yep.
The last one is just as important. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. You do get some pushback. You do get some conflict from those who do not understand, because they're fearful. They're not, they're confused. So it's always a wonderful thing to have a gift and to be able to use that gift. But sometimes you feel as though the gift is a double-edged sword, and one side will possibly cut you back. But that doesn't mean to stop. It just means that that's the normal way that things happen.
Right.
So, yes, and then journal about it, right, Angela?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Lady Soul, I would say that it's very possible that you threw your old self out of the car. That makes a lot of sense.
It does. Yes, it does. You threw out the part that grew up and no longer needs to be served, and so you threw the fear away.
Yeah.
You threw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I love that.
Yes,
love that.
very nice.
I'm getting goosebumps on that, throwing the fear away.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does take that. Yes, that's what she said too. So basically I threw my own self out of the car. Yes, the part of you that was a child, or as was that part that held the fear, and you've pushed past the fear. So now that part of you is gone. Yes. And you're driving the car, and you're doing the throwing, and so it's all in your hands.
Right.
It's all in your hands. Yes.
Sounds totally
yes,
successful to me.
Yeah. For entertainment purposes only, yes. I agree with that. Yeah.
Entertainment and enlightenment purposes.
I don't think you have dark energy. I think that coming out to anybody is scary. It's scary at first. We don't know for sure if what we believe we're doing is real. I think that we worry about what other people might think. So I think the dark energy is just, and a house would probably, in this case, represent, familial, your family in some way. But yeah, wow. All right. Okay, she grabbed her and threw her out. She said in Spanish, "I'm a monster." That's cute.
Word for monster in Spanish. That's so cute.
Wow. Anybody have any Oh, really? Jan's Free said, "I had bad dreams and I threw it away too." Good.
Awesome.
So you actually in your dream, don't they call that a lucid dream, ladies?
Yes.
When you can change the outcome of it.
Yes, that's what lucid dreaming is.
And you know that in that moment, remembering that how you got to that place, how you saw your hand, how you felt the floor, how you could maneuver by the way that you are participating in the dream. That is when you can actually turn around and explore anything that is in your intention for the evening. And or overnight, or whenever it is that you're sleeping. So the lucid dreaming is when you are one-on-one with the guides, and they are participating with you in a very real and very memorable way.
Oh yeah.
So that the other ways are always kind of, gee, I wonder what that meant, or that didn't. There's
I know.
always kind of some fogginess around it. But, it is a process. It's a process.
It is a process.
Communication with them. So, people that have done this work for years and years, even people in professional mental health lines of treatment use lucid dreaming and ways of getting to that point as a way of assisting in the healing process. So it's a learning experience, and the best way that I can tell you if it resonates with you and you have a sense of peace with the answer, whatever that answer is, whatever answer you're receiving or going, oh yeah, that works, or yeah, that makes sense, and you have a sense of peace around that, that's your answer. Anytime there's any kind of wobbly, your tummy's kind of, go back. Okay,
that's right.
Go back into it. Figure that out again, because truth is peaceful, truth is quiet, truth is easy. So your truth within yourself can be that feeling of peace within yourself that says, yeah, I resonate with that, I'm going to go with that, I'm good.
Absolutely. And just I talked about resonance with the Crone Zone the other day. And resonance is not really judgment. Judgment comes to be more negative than resonance. Resonance is an inner knowing that, that's, like you say, that makes sense to me.
Right.
and anything that you put into your sense of comfort or your world knowledge, everything can be discerned that way, by how you feel. For me, when I was looking for where I wanted to be in my belief system about certain things, I would look at everything. Like I looked into Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, thisism, thatism, and I loved some of the stuff from all of it.
Yes.
And so I just took the ism that, I don't have to be that thing in a box. I remember reading Tuesdays with Maury, and he says, I'm a I'm a spiritual mutt. And I love
I love that.
a Heinz 57, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting that you mentioned the accumulation of information, because I also believe that there are many paths to enlightenment. There are many
Absolutely.
paths to what is true. I also believe that there is so much more that we can be experiencing on all different kinds of levels, as far as manifestation and healing and sight and clear, all the clairs, all of those things that are being heightened at this point in our lives, that it's an exciting time to say yes, to say yes. Know that you are supported. Know that there are guides and angels that will go with you. This is not a lonely journey. This
Right.
is an entourage. You have you have your own entourage, and believe me, it's a whole lot bigger than
Absolutely.
Kim Kardashians. So I mean, just trust, trust in the unknown, and realize that what is in the unknown has such magic and
It
has such
does.
love, okay,
Yeah.
and such wonder, that is just the possibilities and the potential. And I know that's like the second time I've said that. I must be running out of
That's
adjectives.
okay. It's always good to hear it again. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with it. Yeah.
it's so good, and
Yeah.
it's so good to connect and know that that this is a powerful element of keeping that conversation going. So
If
I
I
really
if I
appreciate
didn't
the
have the
question.
dreams, I may not, because there aren't a lot of times I can quote see or hear something. I can feel it and know it, but if I didn't have the dreams as a guide for myself,
Yeah.
then I would be feeling like, what's going on? Why don't I have messages? But I do.
Yes,
So they just come in a different way, and for everybody, they come in a different way.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's all so individual.
Yep.
It's that.
Yep.
Do we have another question? Do we have another dream?
I don't see another dream here, but good. I'm glad. Thank you, Lady Soul. I'm glad you brought us a dream this morning. Thank you. I don't see another dream. If somebody wants to put up a dream or has a question about dreaming, bring it up. I love oil painters. Diana says, "Living in fear spoils all the fun."
Yeah, it was.
It does. It's like,
Does.
worrying that people are going to find you out, that you're, and I, for a while, lived that way on Facebook. I had my professional stuff up there, but now it's like, come see my YouTube channel. And I'm sure they're all going, wow. A lot of people that had no idea, I don't really care. And if they say bye, goodbye,
Yeah,
it's okay.
when I had a similar experience with the class reunion that was posting all of the people that had passed away, and it is such a hard thing, to
Oh, yes.
experience, a grief and loss. But every time I see it, I think, but they're right there. they're, they're right
Yes.
there. It's okay. They're right there. We talked last week. It's all good. In
Yeah,
fact, it's
I
so
know.
good. It's so good. Come and enjoy it with them. I mean, and I remember that I was posting something along those lines to a classmate, and I really did hover over the button. Really,
Yeah.
for send.
Yeah.
Right? I really
Yeah.
did hover over that and go, I'm coming out of the closet.
Yeah.
You know,
I understand.
but for
I
me, it's
understand.
like I understand this truth to be so beautiful. I understand spirit connection and spirit guide and ancestor connection and the
Yep.
potential that we have to experience so much
We
more.
do.
And we can
Yeah.
still do all the other steps during the day as well. but it
Yeah.
can be so much more fun, and it can be so much more creative, and so much more silly and refreshing and healing and
Yeah.
healthy. And so I just absolutely love it. And I did hit send. I did.
Those class
Okay,
reunions
it's
are
too late.
those
Can't back
class
out
reunions.
now.
They're scary. They really are. The last one I went to, I remember going in and talking. I was talking with a guy that I went to school with, and he looked at me and he said, "Look, Ed Nelson sent his dad for the reunion instead of him." And I turned around, and there's Ed, and he looks really old. And it was a
No.
joke, but
Yeah.
it's like people go bald, they get heavy, they get skinny, they have this problem, and it's like, you know, and so I remember saying the last one I went to, I was 58, and I said, because I'll be 68 when they have the next one, and I said, this is the last one I'm going to come to. So you have a great time, everybody, but I'm pretty much done.
Yeah.
I don't want to come back. I don't want to do
Y'all
this.
take care, but
Yeah,
at some point
yeah.
your life goes in a different
It
direction.
does. It does. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
Okay.
Um, Andrea had said, I agree many paths to the same place in shamanic thinking. I might ask, is the monster girl spoken Spanish in childhood? And actually, I do know Lady Saul gets a lot of her messages from her guides in Spanish because she is Latina. And and yesterday when I was talking with Gertrude, she says when she gets her messages from her channeling, it's in her language, Malaysian. And so she said, she couldn't, if she was channeling on here, she'd be giving us a message from Russia, but it would be in Malaysian. We wouldn't be able to understand it because unless we spoke Malaysian. So I think it's whatever we're the most comfortable. Don't you? Don't you think it's
Yeah.
whatever we're the most comfortable in? Yeah.
Okay. Indigo Chrysalis, Heather.
Oh, she has a dream.
She has the
Okay.
dream. Yeah.
Okay. I had a dream about a tall, beautiful woman with long, silky black and silver hair. She started singing, but I could not hear it. Okay.
I would say to when you go to sleep at night, to set an intention to hear that song. Because I often wake up with songs. I can wake up singing in different languages that I don't even know.
That's past life.
So being able to get the song, yeah, you'll be able to hear it. You just have to ask or set the intention before you go to sleep to hear that song.
Uh-huh. Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I did not Seascape. Let me go back. Seascape said she had one. I'm sorry.
And the woman with the long silky black hair may be you.
I thought the same thing. Yes.
Maybe your higher self. And then, she's singing to you in a way that is soothing, in a way that you want to know more. So it is coming to you in a volume that is the beginning of a new song, which is, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, right? I mean,
It is.
That your spirit is writing a new song and that it's becoming real for you. So as the song gets louder and louder, you may remember it, you might not. But if you want to know what the message is of the song, what is the message within the lyric or the melody, like Angela said, just ask for clarity or clarification before you sleep at night.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll bring a guitar. We can do it. We'll sing harmony. We'll sing harmony.
I really did. I thought the same thing immediately as Kate did. I thought that this is you in a past life, and you're remembering you can't hear that song because you're working to find your new song, and you are working toward that, Heather, and you are singing your own song this time, but. The feeling that you had, was it a feeling of recognition of this woman? I would look into that. And yes, you can ask for the song, but it may not be a song that you even have heard of before. I'm wondering if you have just the black hair and with the silver in it. I'm just thinking it's sort of like Native American or something like that, because just came to my mind. I don't know. But Seascape, I can't, I've gone all the way back to the beginning and I see no dream listed here. Please, I hate that you have to type it again, but we'd love to answer your question or whatever. If you want to put it up, I'm really sorry I can't find it. But Jans Free wonders, how does one remember more dreams? So ladies, I'll let you work on that.
It's a practice. It's like anything, playing the piano or, learning cursive or, learning a new skill. It takes practice. It takes writing it down and tapping in first thing when you first wake up. You have a journal by your side. You can write in, or even if you wake up in the middle of the night because, that room down the hall is calling. So, some of us have to get up in the middle of the night to go do that. So, and that's where it can be really fresh and clear and clean. And then you start writing what you do remember. And as the day progresses, once you're awake, more details might pop in. And maybe they won't, but it's a start. It's a practice. It's a conversation. So, not everybody's gonna be able to remember everything. I think I kind of go a little goofball if I remembered every detail of every dream, right? Because then it would be like not resting at all, Do you want to add to that, Angela?
If I remembered every dream, my book would be like a telephone book. So
a dictionary. Yeah.
The important ones I write down. The ones that I get a few words, I'll write a few words down that just represents the dream, and then I'll go back later and fill it in. But if you just capture a few words, you'll start remembering your dreams. You just start capturing a few words from each one. It'll come in. It'll slowly work to where you're remembering more and more.
And it can either be words or even pictures. If you're an artist like Diana, where she could draw what it was she saw.
It's amazing what Diana draws. She just, oh my God. Yeah.
It's spectacular.
I also had somebody tell me that they use their phone audio and because they don't want to take the time to write it. So they just listen, they say, I'm going through a supermarket and everything's falling off the shelves or whatever it is. And then you've got it right there and it's captured, but it's really important for you to try to do it before your foot hits the ground. But if you have to go potty, bring it into the bathroom with you and, see if you can record it, because actually those would be really cool dreams, but they're so deeply buried in the middle of the night. And so we really only remember the ones that happen to us right before we wake up.
Yes.
It's very.
You can do that meditation in sending yourself an email. So, set that up before you go to sleep. And have it on the side so that when you're
there's the escape stream.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, did she repost it?
She's at 1146. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, Seascape, that I missed it the first time. I went back a couple times. I couldn't find it. Okay, so a wolf was on the street, stared at me and looked at me, and again, as if I was supposed to follow, started to run at me. Up and yelled, "Sweet Jesus." Oh my.
Well, it's interesting that it's a lone wolf. Because wolves normally are in packs.
Run in packs, yes.
So, the lone wolf, my hit is that you're being invited into a new tribe, into a new pack, to follow, to come in, to accept, and in not immediately running behind the wolf was coming for you. So in some ways, I don't mean that negatively, coming for you, inviting you in a way that you would remember. So my intuition says that there's an opportunity for you to become connected with something that involves more than one. But it may only be one individual or one event that brings you into whatever this community is. And that community is one of very old wisdom and loyalty and strength
Wow.
with the wolf symbolism. You can also look up the word, wolf for a symbol and see
I
if.
just did.
Oh, you
Yep.
did. Thanks, Aley. Because
Yeah, I'm going to post it here. It's symbolic of spirituality, and it means that you are being encouraged to go and access your inner wisdom and your natural gut intuition, encouraging you to give you all the confidence you need. You've found your path, and the wolf reminds you to trust your instincts always.
yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah,
Yes.
I like that.
Beautiful.
yeah,
Mhm.
very, very nice. Very
And I
nice.
know that there could also be one of your spirit guides. You have to think of it that way too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we get them that are animals, spirit animals, power animals for ourselves. And
Right.
when it was jumping at you, it was simply wanting you to wake up. And you
Mhm.
did.
And remember,
Wake up because you have the gift. You have that intuition and you need to use it. That's kind of what I got out of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
what do you think,
Um,
Angela?
I agree with you. I think it probably was a spirit guide trying to show her the way. And instead of following, she
Right.
ran.
Mm-hmm.
She needs
Right.
to turn around and look at that guide and follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I agree. It's very powerful. Um, it does. It wants to wake. The wolf wants you to wake up and realize that you know the answers to a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that you just don't
Absolutely.
realize. Yes, yes. So I pulled the cards. The
Okay.
phone. The phone is ringing. They're telling you, wake up, get the phone. The next one is a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's a series of consequences that's making its impact. So you, in essence, by being in this community or by lifting us up with your gifts, ripple it out to other people. People find that they're happy to see you. You give them whatever it is, the courage, the wisdom, the love, the recognition that they need, let's say, in the chat. And look at this one. You have some hidden magic. This is the magic lamp. You have some hidden magic in there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And your hopes, wishes, and manifesting is all possible for you. So yeah, I think that's fabulous. And you can pull your own cards, of course, and whatever it is that message you get from that, you can say, I'd like to know what my dream last night meant. And, ask the universe to
Yeah.
give you an answer.
Right.
Yep. Okay. So she has been working on her higher self and her gifts. There you go. Good girl.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how long ago that wolf came, but he likes it. Yeah. Yep. They say, jump right into the water because when you're going into the water or the ocean or a pool and you slowly walk in, you don't know if you want to go any further and you're cold. Jump right in. Jump right in.
Jump in, join the party.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Oil Painter said it's a power dream and you lead the way by leaving. Yep. In other words, the wolf isn't going to tell you what to do because you want to do it on your own, but he leaps at you to remind you that he's there with you.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It is.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Wow. That is awesome.
Sometimes the message comes in loud and clear later. And
but it was just a day ago, she said. It was just a day ago. So that's really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Oh. Anybody else? We have about another 6 minutes left. We'd be happy to either answer questions about dreaming or I want to bring up the idea of keeping a dream. I think we talked about this, Kate. A dream
Journal?
symbol notebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can put in, like, for instance, if Seascape was doing it, she can put in a wolf.
Yeah.
And she can put in what the wolf means to her so that next time she has the dream, she can go back to it and remind herself what that meant.
Right.
You can put a telephone in. You're not going to start out with you're going to start out with having to do everything
Yeah.
at some point, but eventually you may find yourself looking at it into the same idea, like a wolf shows up tomorrow or a wolf shows up in a month, or so you have more medicine work to do. There's yours. Okay.
You write down a couple of words, and
Yep.
then when you wake up, you expand on it, and it can even expand a day or two later. But
Yep.
once you have a little note about it, you got a place to start.
Absolutely.
You've got to have that place to start.
Right.
Yeah.
And looking back, when you start recording them and you look back, through what you've written, you may discover that there's a pattern repeating,
Absolutely.
using different symbols. Okay, and when you notice that happening, that's your guides going, well, she didn't get it with the lollipop. Let's try the popsicle. Popsicle didn't work. Let's try the root beer float. I'm sorry I'm using food analogies, but it's like I'm trying to come up with something fast and spontaneous. And so realize though that those are all those three things could be the same meaning. So however they show up for you in different contexts, in different experiences, it could all be the same message coming through for you. I know for me, my dreams tend to be ones where I wake up really puzzled and have to give it a minute or two to settle down.
Oh yeah.
In order for me to realize that the message is always benevolent. It's always supportive. It's always about expressing a connection to me to keep going with whatever it is that I'm facing. To know that the support is there, and that lightens the load. And I know that it's like, wow, you can do that in your sleep. You bet. You can. So the symbolism is really interesting. For me, sometimes it's teeth and hair and islands coming up out of the water, from nowhere. It's I can go sneak in the planets, so all kinds of marshmallows in the pockets.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Kate, that's where we have some synchronicities. We've got to talk about marshmallows one day soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
M&M. So maybe.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe when some of the untangling is there, I'll start dreaming about trees or birds or whales or dolphins or who knows what will. But they know they can get me with the green M&Ms, and they know they can get me with the marshmallows. So
what about the graham crackers and the chocolate
Yeah, well, we were going to the Eiffel Tower for the chocolate. So.
There you go.
Maybe it's just the French chocolate,
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So,
So the other thing is, you may only remember a portion of your dream. I had a friend who told me a dream, and it was very short because she only remembered a very short piece of it, but it still helped. The idea that showed up in her dream, it still helps. So you don't have to remember dreams that go on and on and on. Usually, because sometimes my dreams will morph. I'll be dreaming this, and then all of a sudden this comes in or something like that. And that happens as well. So
yeah. It's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
It's really exciting. So my brother watched our video a couple of weeks back, and he texted me and said, "Okay, here's the dream for you."
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait, no, send it to the email. Come on the show, So he was talking about a classmate that he had run into in the dream, and that, and this was a very sweet classmate that was suddenly really taking advantage of him, that was creating a situation that was almost criminal, and so he didn't understand. Why this friend from, when we were in kindergarten would, suddenly want to affect him in a hurtful way. And when we talked about it through texting, I asked him if someone was trying to scam him because the friend was no longer the friend. The friend was someone else trying to be the friend. So this
Absolutely.
sneaky way that behavior can come in, that the circumstances can come in as a warning. You are about to be scammed.
Yeah.
Be careful.
That's true.
With whatever is going on in your life. And
the person you thought you could trust has changed.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and that was a great because that would be innocence in kindergarten would be that little boy was innocent. Yeah,
and and he was stuck on, why would she do that to me? And it wasn't that it was that she was doing it to him,
right,
but there's a circumstances that is not real, is hidden in it's the Little Red Riding Hood scenario.
Right.
Look out.
Don't you think too, though, that it also speaks to the idea that we all have shadow? Every one of us has shadow. That doesn't mean we're serial killers in our shadow. It just means some days we're not so nice and some days we're nice. Whatever it is. Yeah.
It does. That's when you go to Malta and play in the water.
There you go. I'm with you.
Just go there. But it was really, really fascinating to have him support the channel and then ask a question. Well, what do you think of this? And sometimes it really is just a sentence or two that is puzzling. So once we opened up the idea that there's a trickster coming on board, then he immediately knew what the situation was and could respond with caution and respond with more intuitive presence. It's okay, I'm going to look more closely at this because this has the potential not to be real.
We have to do that. We don't want to think that somebody's trying to scam us or do something to us, especially if we know them really well. But it can happen. It can happen. Yeah. So, ladies, Dave put this up. We'll finish up with this today. It's great to have you here, Dave. I've been dreaming of my dogs in spirit lately and my brother in spirit, and I hear myself self-talking. He has very vivid dreams and he remembers them, he says. So awesome. He says, talking in my dreams to them, and I feel my dogs hug me. They feel real. When I hug them,
they are
real. They are real. And it's so beautiful that they are showing you that they are connected to you right now and forever. Yeah. So that is just, that makes my heart beat.
I know.
That connection. Other people are feeling that connection. Thank you, Dave, for sharing that. It's so beautiful. And they will come whenever you want them. Whenever you want to connect with them. You can have them when you're awake and you can have them when you're asleep. Thank you.
Those kind of dreams, I think.
Yes, we do.
Final question: what part of one's sleep cycle are the most vivid dreams? For me, it's I think that it is Bora Bora for me as well. Right before I wake up is when I sometimes even will wake up, maybe go to the potty like at 7 a.m. and then say I'm going to go back to bed for a while, and then I have the most vivid dreams I think I've ever had. So is that what you think, ladies, as well?
Yeah,
I agree too.
I'll get 3 or 4 times a night.
And it's also the time for the body to just restore. Where your blood pressure goes down, your body temperature goes up, and the physical healing is taking place too. And that for me is kind of like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'll take the I'll take the express elevator as soon as it's time to go to sleep. As time as the movie starts. What time does the movie start? Okay. So, it's, I think that's right. I think that the most important messages are given to you in a way that you're going to remember them. And right before you wake up, there is that quickening time, that time of twilight, where, maybe things are not quite asleep and not quite awake. And that's where you can, really just enjoy that warmth of knowing that there's so much around you to love you and to support you and to help you have the best life ever. And it is really, really exciting that the energies on the planet are opening up all these new exciting things to explore.
Excellent. Yes, Dave, I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, ask them to come all the time if you want. They'll come back, and your brother in spirit will as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kaz says lucid dreams include wish fulfillment, overcoming fears, and healing. So,
Absolutely.
and that's what Angela did talk about earlier, but that's absolutely right. You can heal yourself. You can.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Mhm.
And in ways that you don't even have to know what the, diagnosis is. You don't have
Right.
to know. You don't
Yeah.
have to be medically inclined. You can
Yep.
sense that something doesn't feel balanced and
Mhm.
ask for that to become balanced. Ask for that to
Mhm.
become easier. And it
Yeah.
and it it'll be fun to see in a month. I don't know, you guys might not recognize me.
There you go, girlfriend. There you go. Well, you got the window. You started at the right time. The window is here for
Yeah.
this,
Mhm. Yeah.
so this is a great time to begin. Wow. Wonderful energy. Thank you all for your comments and dreams in the chat. Thank you, Angela, for being here as always, and Kate. Next Tuesday for our Dream Detective show, we will be finishing up the Craig and Clara Bow story. So make sure you come back and see us
Absolutely.
and bring Craig questions.
We're going
And
to have Angela and Andrea also in a couple of days, right, on Thursday?
that's right. I have Angela and Andrea talking about the Ascension and some other things. And Wisdom Seeker Joan is coming on with me as well in a few days. So yeah, I got a lot going on this week.
I
But
wanted
thank
you
you.
to know, Aley, too, that I started a channel.
Oh, okay.
There's no content yet, so I'm
Okay.
building, I'm learning, I'm in
You're
that
working on it.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. Creating the webpage and the YouTube channel and all of those.
Well, that's wonderful news. Yeah.
Those scary things that are like tech savvy. I'm not.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, that's why I do my best. But somebody else would put a background here so we don't have to look at my husband's Hawaiian shirts in the bathroom at the RV. But I don't. You just have to get me warts and all. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm going to be on Purple Elephant Deb H's channel in a little while later on today.
Good. Oh, good. Yeah, she's so wonderful. I love her.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes, that's fabulous.
Awesome.
And you're going to be posting something on your own channel as well.
Oh,
Angela, soon. Yeah. Okay.
Very soon.
Very soon. Very good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you later. Take care.
Make sure all your dreams are sweet.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Make all your dreams come true. Yep. Oh, Sherry wants to know what your channel is so she can subscribe to it. Is it just not up yet, or
it doesn't have any content, so I don't know.
Doesn't have any content, so you want to wait? Okay. All right. She'll let us know as soon as she gets that going.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks, Sherry.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.